Hey mama, here we are. It's almost Christmas, it's holiday break, and your kids are home for weeks. Dun dun dun. If you are anything like me, you aren't going to just forget about your work from home business. You got goals, sister, and it's about to be the new year. So in today's episode, I'm going to teach you how to find time to continue growing your business without losing those precious moments that you want to have with your kids during this really special couple of weeks. So we will go through some time management hacks, some productivity and planning strategies, and more. So grab your coffee. It's time to get prepared and get planning. Welcome to the Moretomotherhood podcast. If you have a calling on your heart to play bigger, to impact more people with your business, mission, or the team that you've created, but you can't seem to get there, then this is the perfect podcast for you. Together, we will rise by smashing the glass ceilings and stepping into our greatest potential. Hi, I'm Kristen, busy wife and mama of 3, top 1% network marketer, and your new sassy best friend. I believe that as a busy mom boss, you have what it takes inside of you to be an incredible mom and an empowered businesswoman. If you're ready to do the work, I'm ready to be your BFF and mentor you on this journey to help you create your 6-figure side hustle and beyond. It's time to uncover the more inside of your motherhood. Let's do this. So, by the way, I'm so excited to provide you these tips, you guys, to increase your productivity while your kiddos are at home, but also get you ready to scale and grow with momentum going into 2021. You'll want to save the date and get into the profit playbook for work-at-home mamas. You will not want to miss it. I'm telling you, it's going to be amazing. It will be January 11th and 12th, so hop into the group so that you can be ready for the Profits Playbook Workshop. See you in the group. I'm telling you, you do not want to miss this. So before we get started, I'm going to read a review. It's a 5-star review from the Ginger That Could. She says, Kristen is one of those individuals that displays so much energy and encouragement to others. I am so glad she has taken this step to have a podcast so she can reach even more women who have similar experiences with network marketing and looking for their own personal success. Be sure to join her social media group because you will not be sorry. Okay, so as we dive into these tips that I have for you for working, some of you may be stay-at-home mamas already, some of you are work-from-home mamas, and now you're switching your schedule to have your kids home for 2 weeks. And I know what that's like because every time I go through a transition, when in the past, when I used to have to switch my schedule, it would totally throw me off. I would lose those 2 weeks because I was like so unorganized and unprepared for my kids being home and what was going to happen that I just found myself not working my business. So I want to preface this by saying that I'm not saying you need to grind and hustle hard this whole time that your kiddos are home, because that's really not the case. That's not what I'm about. The goal here is to have you prepared and plan ahead and plan some things so that you have time blocks within your day, even though your kids are home. So I'm going to help you manage all of that and maneuver that, because the goal is to work some and have fun with your kids, right? We want that kind of to get that work-life balance so that we're not grinding because we're like wanting to go into 2021 with all this momentum and neglecting our kids, but we're also not, forgetting about our business completely, because consistency is key, right? And we all know this. So some of the things that I'm going to suggest to you, maybe you are doing camps or you have various age kiddos. So just pick what's going to fit with your family and with your schedule. I'm just going to throw out a lot of ideas. A lot of these things is what I'm going to be doing with my children. And I just find that it can be helpful. And if we prepare ourselves now for the kids being home for 2 weeks so that we have a plan, right? And we're not just flying by the seat of our pants, because I do that sometimes and it is crazy, right? It's stressful. It's a reactive way to go through your business. So we want to be prepared for the break so that we can enjoy our time with our children and also continue to enjoy working in our business and we're not so stressed out. So one of my tips is, well, maybe you're going to send your kids to camp. I don't know if you have camp or your camp's open. I know with coronavirus and all of that, that may not be feasible. My daughter had the opportunity to go to like a gymnastics camp, but I'm just really not sure if I'm comfortable with that, right? So I'm going to have her home with me, but I don't want her to be bored out of her mind either. So we're going to schedule some play dates with some friends as well. So I'm going to set up a schedule, right? You guys all know how much I love time blocking and schedules. And so I'm going to set up a schedule with some mamas so I can have that friendship time, with my friends just to hang out, right? I don't want to constantly be working and not being able to hang out with my friends either. So we're going to get together play dates probably on the weekends so that our kiddos can play and that we can have that like mama time, right? I think that's so important because sometimes we get so detached and get so busy with work that we forget about ourselves and our personal connections and friendships. So I'm going to schedule some play dates so that my kiddos can have fun and I can have fun too, right? Those adult conversations are so important, especially for, when I was staying at home with my children, it was hard to be a stay-at-home mom. It can be really lonely. So make sure you're scheduling those play dates for yourself too, right? So plan ahead. Maybe you want to do a play date swap one day. So maybe I know that I was able to set up with a friend. I dropped my daughter off at her house and she was entertaining the kids for one afternoon while I got some work done. And then I return the favor. She drops her kiddos off with me and I entertain the kids and she gets work done. So that's another tip that you could do is like a play date swap. Like, hey, have your daughter come over, play with my daughter for a couple hours, get some work done. And then maybe the following week or a couple days later, you can return the favor, right? So I love doing that. And I have great friends that are helping me out and I help them out. So I just really love that. So take advantage of that and it won't cost you anything. And it's great for the kids to be able to play with each other, especially during break. If they're an only child or their siblings are spread apart, like my son is 11 and then my two girls are 5 and 2. So it helps to make sure that they're all entertained and they all have friends to play with, right? Within reason, safety guidelines and all of that. And then maybe also switching up your schedule. So I know that I'm a person, you guys, of serious routine. So change is hard for me. And that's why when my schedule changes from like, I have my routine, I work my interpreting business, I have my coaching calls at this time, I have X, Y, and Z all scheduled out. And then I go to this new schedule. I'm like, whoa, like, wait a second here. Like, how am I gonna get all this stuff in? And it just seems like a hot mess for like 2 weeks and then breaks over and I didn't get anything done in my business. So I've learned to be super prepared and scheduled. And so you can switch up your schedule, plan ahead. So sometimes maybe if you do your morning routine in the morning, well, that's great. Or maybe you work out in the morning. I love this tip, you guys. I'm going to be doing this with my kids. So maybe you work out in the morning, but instead, maybe you take that time block before your kiddos wake up and maybe you wake up a little bit earlier, enjoy the peace and quiet, right? Get your morning routine done or get some, top priority things on your to-do list done. Like I have non-negotiables on my to-do list every day and I have to get those 3 things done. It's only 3 things, but sometimes 3 things can seem like a lot, especially if you don't want to do them, but there's certain things that we have to do in business that we may not love, right? So I'm going to do those first thing in the morning before my kids get up or when they're getting breakfast or whatever. I'll have it all set up for them. Mommy's going to go outside in the patio, do a couple of my non-negotiables, come back in, and instead of working out in the morning, I'll do those first thing in the morning, get it all done. And then during my workout time, I'm going to work out, but I'm going to make it fun. I'm going to make it a game with my kids. And if you don't have this website or you don't know this website, it's super fun. There's some free stuff on there. It's called Go Noodle. So GONOODLE.com. You type that in, they have all sorts of fun exercises and dances that you can play for your kids and it will keep them entertained. And it can keep them entertained for 30 minutes. You can get a solid 30-minute workout in. If you work out longer than that, just see how long you can take it, right? But it does these fun exercises and it's super cute. Check it out. I'll put it in the show notes. But I love Go Noodle. So I'll have a scheduled time where they can do that. And so either I'll work out or I'll work my business again or whatever the case may be, just to keep them entertained, but keep them moving, right? So I'm going to create a schedule each day that we're on break for my kids. And it's not going to be a super regimented schedule. You guys don't get me wrong, but it's going to be okay, in the morning from roughly this time to this time, we're going to do this activity. We're going to do our morning routine. My kids do gratitude journals as well. When mommy does her gratitude journal, I'm going to wake up early and do my work. We're going to do our gratitude journal together, have breakfast, draw what we're thankful for. We do a couple little artsy activities. Then after that, I might say, okay, we're going to have, free time. Maybe we'll go outside and play, and they go outside and play for a little while. Then my daughter has nap time. We'll lunch and then nap time. And then I do my work during nap time. If you have little ones, nap time is great time to do work. And only one of my kids naps. So when my daughter is napping, my other kids have to have quiet time, or my son can go to his friend's house and play, or they can play outside. And then my daughter will have like quiet time where she is able to use her iPad for a little bit. And that's like her free time that she gets, is that time frame to use her iPad, and I'll get some work done. And then after that's all done, I'll do a one-on-one activity with my daughter who's awake, because I'm not going to work the whole time, because her iPad time is like 30 minutes or so, right? Or she can watch a show or something, and then I'll play a game with her. And then when the little one wakes up, I probably will take them outside again. Like, this is just my schedule of like what I normally do on the weekends. I'm just making it my schedule for the break, right? And so then I'll take them outside, and then we'll come back in, have dinner, and then I don't work again until night. So my work blocks, my focus blocks, and you want to choose focus blocks, whatever that is for you, you decide how many hours during the break you want to work. So for me, I'm probably still going to work my business 10 hours a week, right? So 2 hours each day, that's the minimum that I work my business. More or less depending on what's going on, right? But I'm going to be off Christmas Eve. I'm going to be off Christmas Day. Those are going to be days reserved for my family. So definitely take the time off, Mama. You deserve it. Hopefully you can get a little massage or do something for you as well. But I have a focus blocks. So my focus blocks tend to be like I said, in the morning, and then in the afternoon, and a small one during my daughter's nap time. So you figure out what's going to be best for you, but don't neglect your business for sure. So obviously I said switch your schedule up. If you're doing camps, do a play date swap. You can switch your workout time and use that Go Noodle. Or if you don't want to do your workout that day, use Go Noodle as like a 30-minute entertainment where you can get some work done. It's super cute and fun. Your kids are going to love it, like for all ages. They use it in our schools here in Florida for the kids to like get their wiggles out, right? So I typically work an hour if I can in the morning, depending on what time my kids wake up. And I'm flexible with my schedule, an hour for sure at night, and then like 30 minutes during nap time. So that's typically my schedule. And if you make your schedule for your kiddos so that they know what to expect, because kids love routine. Kids love routine. They love knowing what's expected, especially my son, because he's on the spectrum. He really loves to know like what is happening next, like what is the plan. So if you can post that schedule on your refrigerator, just like a Word document, just type something out. This is what we're going to do. Or you can get fancy and be Pinteresty and make an awesome, cute schedule. I'm a little tech challenged, so my schedule is just a little Word document schedule, but I put it on the fridge so my kids are going to know, like, this is what our plan is. This is what we're going to do. You have a play date with so-and-so today. Caleb, you're doing this. You can go play with your friend this day. You have free time. You can read a book, because my kids are reading over break. They have no choice. My son does not enjoy it, but each night they have times to read. So they just know the schedule roughly for the day and what to expect. And then like what activities we have planned for them. If we're gonna go to, the Festival of Lights or something in Orlando, we have a trip surprise for them, but we'll give them the schedule that day. Like, they'll just have an idea of what to expect. And then also that will help you with less frustration, less, explosions. Like, I don't know about your house, but my house, if my kids are not expecting something, or they don't want to do something, like that can cause like chaos in our house and like tears and all of that. So if they know what to expect, then they're more willing and ready to go with that schedule, because they're like, okay, this is what we're going to do for the day. And then they'll also help keep you on track, because my kids will remind me, they're like, oh, mommy, don't you have a meeting? Because I have coaching calls over the break too. And they're so good. They'll remind me. They know, after your meeting, can I do this? Like, it's amazing what a schedule can do, and sharing it with your kids. And if your kids are too little, like to read the schedule, you can have little pictures. I used to do a picture schedule for Caleb when he was little, so he would know what to expect. So those work really well too, if you have time to print things out or draw a picture yourself of your artistic, whatever the case may be. But picking your focus blocks is the biggest tip I can give you, and sticking to that, and also sticking to your times off, right? So I know it can be really tempting to look at our phone or continue to work, because we're like, hustle, we're so excited, we love what we do. I'm the same way. I'm very much, I'm gonna admit this to you guys, a workaholic. I love coaching, I love my job, I love working with my team, I love all of that stuff, and sometimes it's really hard for me to let go and unplug, but You can remove the apps during Christmas, which I would highly recommend. Christmas Eve, Christmas, or Hanukkah, if you celebrate Hanukkah, you can remove those apps during the times that you want to make sure that you're super present, so there's no temptation. You're like eliminating the temptation so that you can focus on your family too, because this podcast episode is not only how to focus on your business and continue to be consistent, but it's also giving you the freedom and the ability to, yes, hustle and work those focus blocks, but also remember to enjoy your family, because these times are so precious and fleeting. And I used to say, oh yeah, sure, when my kids were growing up, when I first had babies, they're like, oh, enjoy it, time flies. And I'm like, okay, everyone says that, but it's so true. So you also don't want your kids to remember you attached to the phone on holidays and all that stuff. So for me, it's really hard with the temptation of continuing to work my business because I love it so much. But really be intentional and maybe delete those apps if you feel the temptation for the time being that you're wanting to be present with your children. Schedule those activities, schedule those one-on-one times. And if you haven't listened to the podcast episode on time blocking, I highly recommend it, because I do give tips on how I spend one-on-one time with each of my 3 children, just so that they can have that present time with me. And so I also schedule that in during their break as well. So they all know when they're going to get one-on-one time with mommy, which is so important because they need that. Even my 11-year-old needs that to feel important and knows that he's being paid attention to, because with the other 2 little ones, he feels like, they're cute and they get all the attention, and I'm over here because I can do all these things for myself. And so I've been really cognizant of that as well. So give yourself permission to take time off, but also work your focus blocks, whatever you decide to commit to, make that commitment and go with it, right? So anyways, I'm so excited. I hope these tips were helpful for you, and that you're going to be able to increase your productivity while your kiddos are home, but also get ready to scale and grow with momentum into 2021, because you are going to crush this, mama. I totally believe in you. You will want to save the date. Again, don't forget, January 11th and 12th, you're going to want to get into the Profits Playbook for work at home mamas, okay? You will not want to miss it. I'm going to be dishing out so many goodies in there. I'm super excited about it. I just love doing this. So Profits Playbook, January 11th and 12th, put it on your calendar right now. Don't forget, you do not want to miss it, and hop into the group. It's Moretomotherhood. You can search that on Facebook, or you can go to the link bit.ly/Moretomotherhood, and I'll see you in the group. So excited for the Profits Playbook. You're going to want to be there.
Hey mama, real quick before you go, if this episode helped you in some way, or you got value or learned something new from today's episode, or you just feel more inspired right now, the number one way that you can thank me is to leave me a 5-star written review. That is the number one thing I ask for showing up for you guys each week, is a quick written review right over on the Apple Podcast app. I'd be so grateful. Thank you so much for being here. Just know that you can create the life of your dreams and turn your passion and purpose into your paycheck. Until next time, mama, don't forget, you are called for more.